Honda has returned to the hot hatch game with this brilliant driving tool. I say brilliant because this is the Civic Type R, the third generation. The first generation was a fantastic car for its time. You know, it had a Formula One designed engine. It had great handling for its time, and it had all the Type R bits. But the second generation became a four-door sedan. It wasn't that exciting, but it deserves some praise. Now comes this brilliant third generation hot hatch, four-door, a 2-liter turbocharged Honda engine, 310 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, a 0 to 100 acceleration time of 5.8 seconds, 6-speed manual gearbox. This is the second gear. See how it pulls cleanly. And then third, with still juice left for us to go forward. Fourth, and that rear suspension works so well in keeping us totally planted. Fifth, solid brakes. Drop a gear. A nice feel, meaty steering wheel. This machine is just completely entertaining at all levels. And Honda has managed to keep the cabin comfort. It's like a sedan. It's like driving a normal sedan, a family sedan. You got this big, bulky looking race seats, but they're so comfortable. And you still got loads of room at the back for 3 adults to sit. And you got luggage space. And all this in an aggressive looking hot hatch that screams boy racer. You've seen the rear wing. You've seen a little vortex at the back, just, you know, above the rear hatch. And then when you want, you can drive it in a docile manner. But in sport, which is what we're doing right now, the steering tightens up and you can hear, you know, there are 3 exhausts at the back, and we thought with the third exhaust you're gonna get more, you know, the pop, but no, they've kept it very docile. In fact, the third exhaust is to keep the sound balanced so that you don't get a very angry sounding exhaust, but you get something that entertains. Third gear pull. And again, third gear pull. It's entertaining to bits. At 302,000 ringgit, that's the asking price of this Type R. It sits right in between the Mercedes A45 AMG and the Golf R. But I have to say, after driving this precision tool, and look at how that engine responds. And the 6-speed gearbox is so smooth. It feels so well engineered. And the clutch is not heavy, so you don't feel like you're struggling with the clutch. You have to take this car out for a test drive to truly understand how well Honda has put together this hot hatch. Three exhausts on the Type R, but only two are working for your audio excitement. The third one is trying to suppress the other two. The braking power, no issue. The best in the business, Brembo. And with skinny 245 tires on 20-inch wheels, you still get a very comfortable ride. For cool air to make sure it gets into the right part of the engine to ensure optimum driving excitement. Honda's all-new Type R engine, 2-liter, turbocharged, 310 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. And this engine was built in Swindon, England at the Honda Centre, and it was tested for 7 days in a continuous run at 7,000 over RPM. That shows the commitment of Honda to ensure you get a car that has got an engine that is super reliable, driven hard every day. It's a rear hatchback that has got surprisingly a lot of room for luggage, for golf bags, and you have this cover that's quite interesting. You know, instead of having one of those covers that basically you have to remove every time you want to use the bag for slightly unusually large objects, you just slide and clip it into place. Great feature. I think a lot of new cars should start having something as easy as this. And the rear seats drop to provide a lot of room if you need to carry bigger stuff. Very practical hot hatch. Surprising amount of room in the rear, just like any standard Honda Civic. A hot hatch, yet it'll take 3 adults in the back without any issue if needed, but 2 will be supremely comfortable even with this oversized race seats in front. The design is not really to our taste, but I can understand it caters to the younger generation because this is a very flamboyant design, but every part of it has got a use. From little things like this, to this aggressive looking spoiler, to this thing here, and then the vortex. This vortex is not something for fun. All this has been designed aerodynamically to make this car handle supremely well around corners and at high speeds. Nothing has been done for physical attributes. Everything you see here, like this, is real. It actually gets air out from the brakes here, and these flat arches fill in the gaps perfectly for those large 20-inch wheels on very skinny 245 tires. Everything, the inlets here, the spoiler, that's real. Everything here has been designed to make this car supremely entertaining to drive on and off track. Get into the Type R, fire up the engine, systems come alive, and you're ready to go. You get a aluminium gear shifter, very nice on the feel. You get Type R registration here. Of course, you get an electronic handbrake, which I'm not a big fan of, but all new cars are going that way. And then you get the drive selector mode. You have comfort, you have sport, and you have R. And it shows right here on the center dash. Okay, this is R. R, of course, is the most aggressive, which you hardly get to use in our traffic jams. Then you have sport, which is the best mode to be in. And then, of course, comfort. Now, most of you will think comfort for the heavy traffic. No, we've been driving it in sport, and we love it in sport. That's the best mode to be in all day long. R, if you know, if you're going to the track, then you go into R. The Type R front seats with all the side bolsters and the upright position, surprisingly comfortable. I have to say, they're surprisingly comfortable. The finish around the dash, the trimming, all high quality. This car doesn't feel or look, you know, like a standard Japanese Civic. This is a high quality vehicle. It's so well put together. It's impressive at all points. Get into the cabin, the touch and feel, right down to things like the door handle. Everything has been done to a very, very high standard. The way the door shuts, you hear a proper thud. I just love the way this car is put together. This, if possible, will be on my bucket list. So the Civic Type R, can you drive it daily in traffic, in the worst case scenario, in morning traffic? Well, just past 8, we got some of the morning traffic in front of us. It's a nice 6-speed manual. Clutch is not heavy. In fact, the travel is very light. The ratios are very tight. Great feel on the gear knob. But my left leg is not hurting even after 20-25 minutes of heavy traffic, because the clutch feels like an average continental car, I would say. Not Japanese car. Slightly heavier than the average manual Japanese car.